My people, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Patata FC. We are within. Enzo Fernandez is getting a lot of unnecessary backlash for this whole chanting thing that happened after Argentina won the Copa America. So the purpose of this video is to make Enzo the focus, but not in the negative, in the positive, in the football sense. Football is two things. It's on the pitch, it's off the pitch. And politics in football, they're just wild nowadays. You know, both factors are involved in the beautiful game, you know? It's what happens off the pitch and on the pitch. I'm not going to say the world is too soft because that's too shrewd, but I don't think Enzo Fernandez and his teammates aimed to be racist. Enzo Fernandez has apologized and he knows it's highly offensive to the French players. But speaking as an African, we all know that we're not proud of how French players have chosen France over their actual nations. So, to the slightest degree, I understand. You know, if Argentina are just trying to keep this feud that they have with France after the World Cup final in 2022, if Argentina's intention is to keep the fire burning, even going into the next World Cup, I'm all for it, because in terms of a football sense, who doesn't want to watch Argentina versus France at the next World Cup, right? But yes, I don't think the Argentina players needed to think about France when France didn't even make it to the Euro 2024 final. I get that. But I think it's just too much and I think it's unnecessary. So to put Enzo in the spotlight for the right reasons.
He's our brother. He's doing well. He's entitled to his own opinions.
Maresca will know one thing. Maresca, we've spoken about his system. We've spoken about his systems, right? So I don't want to be a broken record, but it's a 4-3-3, 3-5-2 in attack, come back to a back five sort of thing in defense. But in the Premier League, you cannot have one system. You can't go 38 games with one style of play, one plan. He needs to have a backup plan. And I'm not saying we can implement this supposed backup plan immediately, but I think he can get the best out of our players. And I think we might be capable of doing it. So based on the title, with Enzo the focus, can Chelsea play the way Argentina play their football? I'm going to just open up a few screenshots on my side that I'll show you guys that I was going through. And the first one is in the World Cup final against France, right? Argentina, firstly, these guys line up in a 4-4-2. Typical 4-4-2. Di Maria could start on the right or he could start on the left, depending on the opposition. I also would like to send a major shout out to Lionel Scaloni, Lionel Scaloni, for respecting opposition. That man literally sets up the team with the formation, but he sets his team up to best tackle the opposition. So it's a matter of respect for the opposition in every single game. And I think that's why he's won so many trophies in the last 4 years, and why Messi's cabinet has gone from 0 to 4 in less than no time. But to look at the screenshot, this is Argentina against France, and it's a 4-4-2, typical. In this game, Di Maria, right wing, McAllister, left wingish. Now, how do the positions change? That's the interesting point, right? Argentina are bold. And I'm going to just flip to the next screenshot to show you guys how bold they are in attack. One of the vital key elements of this setup is Julian Alvarez and how much he presses in the front line. Julian Alvarez's energy forcing the opposition, who most teams play from the back. So Julian Alvarez will press, the ball will have to go into midfield or on the flanks, which are also occupied by Argentina players. The one player that everyone is trying to free up in the Argentina system as soon as they get possession is, of course, the great man, Lionel Messi. So Messi doesn't have to track back. Messi does not have to mark anyone. He doesn't have to go at people. The players around him do the job for him. Now, Enzo Fernandez, one thing we should note, Enzo's not a sprinter. He's not fast. He's not a burst of pace. Enzo's strengths are on the ball. It's a Fernandez thing. Enzo Fernandez, Bruno Fernandes. But Enzo doesn't really move away from the center circle. Most of the games that Argentina play, alongside De Paul, Enzo Fernandez will stick to his position more than anything, while Depau, who's called Messi's bodyguard, will move forward, close space, but create space for Messi. Close space in terms of the opposition passing the ball so they don't have options. And eventually, as they get more comfortable in the game, the fullbacks will start to move forward more and threaten the opposition. So graphic-wise now, let's talk about it. So we look at a setup with Argentina like this, right? Backline, Montiel, Romero, Butcher, the Butcher himself, and Tagliafico, who has surprisingly solidified himself in Argentina's system. So Enzo Fernandez, being the man with the plan, the man who's going to distribute the ball when he receives it in midfield, doesn't have to be the most difficult pass. Enzo Fernandez is just there to ensure that Argentina keep possession and he looks for Messi. That's what it's about. So Alvarez will press high. Messi will go into the gaps right behind Alvarez. Di Maria and McAllister will go into midfield to increase numbers. Alexis McAllister being the first one who will join the three-man midfield, playing almost in every position in midfield as well. He'll move back to be a CDM and help Fernandez. He'll move forward to help Messi. And Depau will ensure that there is no space for teams to get comfortable in midfield. Why I think Chelsea can implement this system is because I think we might have the perfect players. And remember, I don't think we can do this immediately, but I think we can work on this to be our second system in time. In our system, of course, Lionel Messi is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is our Messi. So when Lionel Messi receives the ball, he's able to pick a pass, or he's already through on goal by the time he receives the ball. He just has to move a bit forward, beat 1-2 men, and Argentina have created a chance.
Nice.
So even when the fullbacks in this system move forward, Enzo Fernandez, Christian Romero, and the Butcher, Lisandro Martinez, will all remain back. And it will look more daring because they don't have numbers in the back line should they lose the ball on the transition. Hence, it's a tricky system. It is a tricky system, but we have the players. So player for player, this is how I'm structuring it, right? We said that they start in a 4-4-2. Our front two will be Cole Palmer alongside Nicholas Jackson for the energy. Quality-wise, I'm not comparing anyone to anyone. I'm not saying our players are as good as the Argentina players. I just think in terms of systematic play, we can do this. So Jackson alongside Cole Palmer. And then the four behind them on the left side will have Kiernan, Dewsbury, Hall, KDH. And then the midfield two, Fernandez being Fernandez, he is himself. Alongside him, the Depau role taken by Moises Caicedo. But to touch on Moises Caicedo, he's not as physical as someone like Leslie Ugochukwu. And as much as Ugochukwu might have less quality on the ball and is younger, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes up that role in this system if we try it out. And then on the right side, we have to deploy someone who's a bit daring. So I'm going to put Reece James in that position. Literally, because in the back line, we're putting Malo Gusto at right back. Left back, we know, Mark Cucurella. And then a back two, we need someone with that Romero profile, that rough. So we're going to put Axel Disasi alongside Levi Colwell. And goalkeeper, take your pick, Robert Sanchez, Dode Petrovic. I think it works either way. But the better shot stopper, who is similar to Emiliano Martinez, is definitely Dode Petrovic in my opinion. So Cole Palmer receiving the ball in the same way as Messi, not pressing too much, but we close all gaps using Fernandez and Caicedo, and Kiernan, Dewsbury, Hall coming into midfield. I don't know if I'm making sense. I think I am making sense. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get it, y'all.